What if the world went into the water wars? I'm sure some of you guys have heard of the water wars. And I'm sure some of you guys have also heard of Team Water. But more about that later. You see, Team Water is working to help 2 million people across the world have clean drinking water. Water that's not poisonous and that is deadly for you. Water that you can actually survive off. Water that isn't polluted. So we'll be seeing what if the world went into total war because of the lack of water. I'll be going from North America to South America to Europe to Africa to Asia to Australia. And back. Now, I don't really imagine Canada having some issues, but the United States, it has a big population, and major cities like Los Angeles, maybe some cities in the desert, maybe Las Vegas or Fresno or cities like that, or maybe Jacksonville, Mississippi, because they just had like a flood, and their water supply is no longer like clean. I also do see Mexico, some parts of Mexico having some water problems, but overall, I think they're pretty good on water. Therefore, we will see. So we'll see the U.S. invasion of Mexico taking place. American troops invade Mexico, cutting off Baja California from the mainland Mexico, and slowly start to retake Baja California and Baja California Sur. Did I say retake? I mean take. And they invade into Mexico looking for all the water reserves so they can feed it to their population. Which is obviously a little cruel, I think. Because you're taking other people's resources for your... You know what? Yeah. Now, I don't really know where the major water sources of Mexico are. So, we'll just do like the U.S. invading in certain spots, and we'll just pretend like they're just capturing major water sources. So right now they've captured 4 major water sources in the north of Mexico. Now obviously they have more water sources down here, but for now this is all America needs. I mean, these are pretty big water sources, as well as the ones down here near the Yucatan. I imagine there's ones near the Yucatan. So here's our peace deal. So here are the horrible borders that the U.S. decided to draw. Taking some of Mexico's water reserves and using it for their own people. So we'll see here that they've claimed Mexico's northern water sources and separated Baja California from mainland Mexico. And we'll see the North Central Americans versus the South Central Americans. They both really want water, and both teams have a lot of water too. But for now, the red team invades because the blue team wasn't expecting this and takes all of the, what is this again? And they do invade into this thing and this thing as well. Sorry guys, I don't really know my Central Americas. But quickly, the Northern Central Americans start pushing back the red teams. Because, Costa Rica doesn't have an army, and Panama has a crap army. So Northern Central Americans completely take Costa Rica with ease, and Panama just surrenders because they know they better be cooked. So this is our second peace treaty of the water wars. So here's what happens. This country here, which I think is Nicaragua, I think. They take the northern area of chili powder. Literally, no. Costa Rica, I meant. So that's the second war of the water wars. Now we'll see these countries trying to murder each other because, Venezuela and Ecuador and Colombia, they all want water. But Colombia is trying to stock up on the water because Venezuela and Ecuador, I imagine they have a lot. Well, not a lot, but a decent amount. So we'll see the Colombians pushing in and taking the northern half of Ecuador. quickly before taking the rest of it. While they're occupying Ecuador, they enter this part of what's this country called? Venezuela, but however face some problems in the south. And we do see Venezuela actually invading the Colombians down in the south. Down in the south right here. However, it's not so fast because here come the Colombians with a very strong army and the help of the United States. Venezuela gets invaded on all sides. Well, not all sides, but on their western side of the country. And slowly but surely, the country of Venezuela starts to fall under oppression of the Colombians. And slowly but surely, the Venezuelans get taken over by Colombia. So here we'll see Colombia taking this and this part of Venezuela, and taking a big chunk of the northern half of Ecuador. Now we'll see Colombia and Peru teaming up against Brazil because they have the Amazon River, which runs along, I think, like that. Or it could be like that. Or I could be totally wrong and it could be all the way down here. But so far, I've seen it up here before. Since Brazil wasn't expecting Colombia and Peru to push in their nation and invade it, they weren't as prepared. Now, as you see, they have the Peru Colombians have a secured front line against Brazil and start pushing in to find the Amazon River. Eventually, they meet the river, which runs along like here to that, and they start stealing the water from it. But then they get pushed back by now a fully mobilized Brazilian army, and it doesn't look great for the Peru-Colombian advancement. Brazil invades into both countries, and mainly focusing on Peru, successfully splitting them in half. Brazilian troops push into the south of Venezuela while completing the north of Peru. Venezuela has major water reserves, and they don't want to lose them, so they'll peace deal with the Brazilians. Same with Peru. So here's what we see here. The Brazilian border was originally like that, but now they have expanded into Peru and Colombia. These guys are in dire need of water, So logically, they invade in each other. And Argentina right now, they invade Chile. They invade Chile, not Chile, chili pepper. And Chile seems pretty cooked. I mean, they're literally one straight line. And they could be, they are literally one straight line, so they are going to be cooked. They are literally cooked right now by the Argentinians, and that happens, you know. But now Chile, so Argentina took entire Chile except for this. But this used to be part of Bolivia, and Bolivia now they want a coast. So what do? They invade the Chileans, and as you'd expect, that happens to Chile. Here is our new and improved Americas. The guys in red need water. The guy in blue has a lot of ice, which can be turned into water. So naturally, Spain, Portugal, Morocco, and Italy invade Greenland. Now, it does have a rugged, coast and interior and stuff with mountains and all that. But, the capital, Nuuk, and I'm not saying to nuke, is Russia. It only has, 20,000 people, so, that happens. All 4 of the countries invade because it's the water wars and these guys are thirsty. And instantly claims, half of Greenland. A third of Greenland. And the reason they're not taking the time is because, America exists, and America has always been raving about how much they wanted Greenland. So that's what's happening to Greenland. They're not gonna let any bit of America happening. Now Denmark, they're not gonna try and defend Greenland because they know they're gonna be absolutely cooked. And the rest is history. Okay, let's see how they're gonna split this up. First, we'll start with Spain, and they need a lot of water, so they took a huge slice of Greenland. Now we have the Italians. This is the Italians' claim. Yeah, Greenland is not being spared. This is Morocco's claim, and this is Portugal's claim. But Italy, they're pretty thirsty. So they'll declare war on their good old not thirsty neighbors. They easily take Australia. Easily take Austria. But when they invade Switzerland, you know the rules. Now say goodbye. So do I. Now say goodbye. But realistically, that would not happen. Realistically, what would happen is this. That's what happens. Okay, and now that's the Italians, what they want. Now, the French and Germans, they would not let that slide because their two allies just got murdered. And Germany and France combined is pretty strong. And when I say pretty strong, I mean very strong. The Italians don't stand a chance. Now, the pizza is going to get their revenge, but we all know that the pizza can't get revenge because it's a pizza for eating. Not for taking revenge. There goes Sicily. It's now just 3 big dots. There goes Sicily. No. Now, realistically, Germany and France would want to take all of that water for themselves. It is the water wars after all. Now, the Danube River is a big mess. And these countries tend to cook the blue countries because they want full control of the Danube River and all the water in it. So we have 3 countries controlling the area around the Danube now. Now, Turkey declares war on Greece as usual. And as usual, they're pretty stronger than the Greeks. Turkish troops invade from Istanbul and also from the Turkish coast comes the navy and takes Athens and takes Greece. This is what Turkey looks like now. Oh boy, the Middle East. And oh my god, the Middle East is a mess. Guys, I'm telling you. We have the Euphrates countries going after the other Euphrates countries, trying to get to the Euphrates River. As you see, Iraq gets invaded from 3 sides, and that is not good, because then your country will be cooked, and the Euphrates River is already taken. Now, obviously, the Allies try and stop the red team, but it's not looking good for Iraq right now. Right now, they look like a mountain that is currently getting terraformed. However, down here, the Blues are having much success with Yemen because they think Yemen is hiding secret weapons of mass thirst quenching. Yeah, they think that Yemen has the weapons of mass thirst quenching. Anyways, Iraq gets fully taken. However, this is what happens to the Jordanians. They reinvade into Iraq and this time have a really successful time extracting water and completely drying up the Euphrates. And invading into Saudi Arabia. Here we go, the final straw of the blue team. Now, Saudi Arabia doesn't have water, they have oil. And they were wrong about Yemen. Yemen doesn't have weapons of mass thirst quenching. In fact, they don't have weapons at all. They're just chilling. Also, the front line gets bigger right now. Mecca and Medina get captured. And it's not looking so good for the Saudis. I mean, I don't even know why they want the desert when they're fighting in a water war. But, you know. They re-liberate, what's this called? Yemen. They re-liberate Yemen and it becomes its own independent country now. Yes. So this is the peace treaty. It's a lot of straight lines. Over here we see that the Egyptians and the Sudanese declare war on the South Sudanese and the Ethiopians. Now Egypt is declaring war on Ethiopia because Ethiopia is planning on shutting down the Blue Nile. And the Blue Nile is a major contributor to the regular Nile River that gives Egypt their supply of water. Therefore, if Ethiopia were to dam it and shut down the Blue Nile, then Egypt wouldn't have its great water source. Well, they would have it, but it would be very fractured. And Ethiopia is also planning on building multiple dams to stop the Blue Nile and use it for electricity. So that is why. And as for Sudan and South Sudan, I think you guys get why they declared war on each other. I mean, they hate each other. Now, with Egypt on Sudan's side, and Sudan's already pretty strong by themselves, South Sudan is absolutely cooked. But here comes Ethiopia, re-liberating the South Sudanese, but only the South Sudanese. Because the Ethiopians already have a problem within themselves. They don't have water either. They have water, but it's not a lot of water. And that lack of water that lack of water, gosh, I can't speak English, resolves into the split of Ethiopia. So Egypt won't have to worry about losing water, but they already kind of are. Ethiopia surrenders over to Yemen and Egypt. And same thing with Sudan, South Sudan. I mean, South Sudan did that a long time ago. The Grand Sudanese Unification. Oh my god, car is the same color as us. I need to fix that. I will find a color that wasn't used. Nope, I can't. You know what? I'm just gonna grab this thin little line and make it a little thicker. As for Ethiopia, they will lose control of the Blue Nile River. Instead, that will be handed ownership over to Egypt. I think that's what the Blue Nile River goes, I think. I don't know, but it will be handed over to Egypt. And same thing with the one in Sudan, in case they try to dam it. Moving on to Algeria. Algeria is mainly desert. And they saw Morocco got a piece of Greenland a while back. And Greenland, well, currently they're drinking Greenland. They're not actually drinking Greenland. They're drinking Greenland's ice and water and stuff like that. So the Algerians will declare war on the Moroccans in order to steal their water because they don't want to die of thirst. So the unsuspected Moroccan army that is mostly up in Greenland will get invaded and will lose Western Sahara pretty quickly over to the Algerians. But have no fear, Morocco, because you're pretty strong and you're a little stronger than Algeria. But Algeria quickly restarts their offense into Morocco and takes Casablanca and Rabat, the capital of Morocco. And Morocco, yeah, that happens. Morocco and the entirety of Western Sahara is now part of Algeria. Nigeria decides to declare war on all of these countries here because Nigeria, they have a lack of water, especially in Lagos. And they decide to invade many of these countries in order to, feed the people and quench the people's thirst in Lagos. So they have an easy time with these three countries, but start to have some struggles when they enter Côte d'Ivoire. Or the Ivory Coast if you can't speak French. And speaking of Côte d'Ivoire, I think that's how you say it. I'm just gonna say Ivory Coast. they get cooked. Liberia, Sierra Mountain Range, Guinea-Bissau. Yeah, they've quickly become a part of Nigeria. Now we have the new Nigerian Empire, and now they can actually give the people in Lagos some water. The new Nigerian Empire. Now the DRC, they want water. And as you see, there's a lake, and there's other countries that have some water. So the Democratic Republic of the Congo will declare war on these countries. The Democratic Republic of the Congo invades the unsuspecting nations and thus surround the lake. But not before Tanzania and Kenya's army, which are exceptionally strong, come and beat back the DR Congo. And like I said, these guys are thirsty. And they need mass weapons of thirst quenchers. And the Blues team invades the Red team. And the DR Congo is so thirsty that they aren't really that able to fight back. Also, sorry if I'm going a little fast-paced here. I don't know why, I just feel like going fast-paced because, Anyways, this is what happens. The DR Congo gets completely taken over by these countries. And their cause of death was thirst. They should have took Yemen's weapons of mass thirst quenching. Peace treaty time. This is the new empire. Now, instead of the Central Asia blowing up into total war, they will be uniting into the Republic of We Need Water. And they do get water. Mainly from this and the Caspian Ocean. Sorry, the Caspian Sea. And I'm sure the rest of Asia is pretty good on water. Nope, Bangladesh isn't. I know for a fact. So Bangladesh will build a fictional island to filter their water. And it was built by Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast himself. In his video helping 2 million kids and people and human beings get water that is not polluted. And that's why I'm supporting water. That's why I'm supporting Team Water. Team Water! To give water to the kids of the world and the people who don't have it and the people who are suffering of thirst and people that need weapons of mass thirst quenching. Yeah.